We started day 3 a little bit late, just after 9 o'clock. Had to go back up Carlisle's pass, which was not a bad thing. Great pass to go up, and this time at least in the early morning sun. A small and sad confession: the night before I was playing with the camera looking through the footage, and I shared some of the footage with somebody who noticed that I was recording at 30 frames per second. They suggested I change it to 60 frames per second, which I did, and I didn't notice that it clearly disabled the stabilisation, or the image stabilisation. So the footage from day 3 onwards, I haven't looked at all of it, but will probably all be pretty unstable and rather unpleasant to watch. So a huge pity, but at least it'll give you an idea of what the passes look like if you don't get motion sickness during the process. From this point the video rushes rather quickly into TTT, missing the start and also quite a bit of footage of the more rocky sections. Just didn't have the camera going at the time, and by the time I got into the sections there was no way I was going to be able to press buttons and ride the bike.
Little marbles. Yeah.
For the most part, TTT wasn't a bad pass, or wasn't a terribly difficult pass. It had its moments. There were a couple climbs that were testing, probably one real climb that was testing, and then a few descents that were rather rocky. And if you didn't have your pace right, or if you went too slowly, you were at risk of losing the front end. I think I had one such moment where I chickened out a smidge and went just a little bit too slow, but then quickly realized I had to get my pace back up. Besides that, there were some sections where it was a bit slippery or a little bit pebblish or marbly, especially towards the end going towards Tennerhead Lodge. The descent to Tennerhead was quite odd. Just felt like the wheels never quite had traction. You never felt confident in turns or braking. As was the theme of this adventure, TTT took a lot longer than we had anticipated. That was in part due to the many gates that we had to open, as well as the terrain that we had to traverse, but it actually turned out to be quite a long pass. And then, of course, stopping in a Tennerhead Lodge for a drink or two didn't help with timing.
It's quite rocky up here. I'm basically going left to right, left to right.
These sections weren't the actual technical sections along the pass. Some of them may have been slightly technical, but for the most part I missed the technical sections, just didn't have the camera running at the time that I went into them. Simply didn't actually expect them at times. As my wise guide would point out, to the left was actually Lesotho, and we were riding pretty much along the border at the time.
Serious?
Such wisdom indeed.
Definitely didn't choose the right lane, or the correct lane. I chose the right one. Which way? Down? Up?
My wise guide failed me here, as we headed up to the police hut.
Going up. To the police hut. So we have to come down again.
There was one of those moments I was speaking about, coming a little bit too slow and having the front end almost wash out on me.
To the left and aim to come through next to the bush. And to the left towards the bush, but slow. And then just as you get down to the bottom, go straight. Lean back and just get going forward. Okay, release the brakes and go. Perfect.
Apparently this is the highest police station in South Africa. Once past the police station, it was pretty plain sailing. There were a couple steepish climbs, rocky steep climbs. This being one of them. The camera doesn't quite do it justice, but it really wasn't anything to write home about. And we quickly made our way towards 10/8 Lodge. As mentioned before, the descent towards 10/8 Lodge is a little bit slippery, and the grip is sort of uncertain.
First section. Still staying right. Then to the left and top, then to the right. What did we look at? And for the video. Moving right. Staying right for now. Yeah, definitely. Moving left. Moving right towards the steep part. Or actually middle. Middle good. Middle is lovely. Actually, so far so good, Tim. This is boutique climbing. Yeah, make it count, it's on camera. It's looking good. No, don't stress, don't stress. I'm having a blast. Yeah, it's been challenging, but it's been palatable. Hey, my friends, my best buddies, delicious. We don't call them sheep anymore. I think these were sent here to torment me. It's not bad. Yes, I went second, it was funny. Okay, around the corner, maybe not second, but I'm going to try it. Definitely running full on the reps.
This part of the world has no shortage of rude farm animals. The sheep that constantly run in your way, and the cows that refuse to move. My favorite animal actually was the little goat. Never got in my way. This was part of the descent to Tennerhead. You can see at times I was tiptoeing around, not too sure if I actually had grip or not.
Yeah, it's a bit slippery.
Hopefully not too motion sick, but as we come to the end of this video, I do again apologize for the poor footage, and I'm not too optimistic, as I said before, that the footage to follow will be as wonderful as I'd expected, which is a serious pity.
You know why? Because I can.